This is my pin. I gave the Council on the Aging $50. That made me a lifetime member. It didn't keep me from aging.
Hi there, folks. Welcome to Glendora, a cheerful look at life. John says that he grew up to be the kind of a kid that his mother didn't want him to play with. Would you start off by telling the folks at home what Westinghouse Broadcasting is and does?
Well, Westinghouse Broadcasting is one of the major broadcasting companies in America today. It operates 5 television stations, 16 radio stations. We have a
This is Mr. Robert C. Wright, who is the President and Chief Executive Officer of NBC, and he'll be back. And then after the group work, what did you become?
President.
You became president?
Right.
Gee, you've had a wonderful career. And then after that, you became the CEO?
Chairman and Chief Executive.
Chairman and Chief Executive Officer. Oh, I think that's terrific.
Ridiculous to work in the entertainment business unless you're in love with the product.
That's true.
I mean, you really have to enjoy entertainment for what it really is, entertainment, whether it's television or cable or animation or features. I mean, if you're not in tune and it doesn't viscerally get to you, you really won't enjoy the business.
And then next step at Vogue was what? Did you go to?
Well, I moved from being a junior fashion copywriter on up through all kinds of departments. And then when I was the feature editor, well, I left and went to Glamour magazine, which is a sister publication, and there I became managing editor, which is next to the top job.
Wow.
Then I came back to Vogue.
Can you tell the boys and girls what an executive producer does, please?
I work in our local news operation, which at Channel 4 is newscasts at 5, 6, and 11 on the weekends.
Break a big news story and and get it exclusively, meaning that nobody else reports it before you do, is a real big thrill. Also, I like to start new publications. I think that's a lot of fun. And I've had the opportunity to start about 3 or 4, including Crane's New York Business and Crane's Chicago Business, and a publication called Electronic Media about radio, television, and cable television, like we're on now.
Yeah.
We report.
A very exciting period where, again, you had to take whatever type case came up in court.
Yep.
And you never knew from one person to the next, from one day to the next, what the charge would be or what the case would be about. So it did mean that one had to have a pretty broad background in legal experience so that you'd be able...
Beginning salesperson with no experience whatsoever will start probably in the mid to $20,000 range.
Yeah.
A good salesman, a real good salesman makes between 40 and 80 and 90, and an excellent salesman makes between 90 and 125,000.
Wow, so you see it's worth going after.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And getting to management, it's a lot more money than that.
And then I went to the Dun & Bradstreet Corporation, which is one of America's biggest companies.
Oh, yes.
A business information company, and I worked there for 7 years.
Sure.
So, and then I'm at Texaco since November.
Please welcome the happiness lady, Glendora. Hi, Glendora. How are you? Pleasure to see you. You're known as the happiness lady,
Well,
is that what they say?
No.
What do they call you?
Glendora.
Yeah.
And what did you say your name was?
I'm Dave. I'll be my last night.
You are a very good interviewer.
Well, thank you.
And I'm going to recommend you for a raise.
Thank you.
The recipe for happiness, David, is that there's one thing in this world that you can do better than anybody else. And if you will go by yourself, you will find out what that is. And you will do it, and you'll be happy. Now, if you don't do it, David, it's going to nag at you every second of your life.
So you find out what it is that you're good at.
No, the one thing that you can do better than anybody else.
The one thing you can do better than anyone else, and you just concentrate on that.
Yes, you do.
And then that'll make you happy.
Well, sure, because you'll get everything you want.
Yeah.
That's good, and then you can concentrate on other things. You don't need to spend the time doing it.
Yeah, you know it was 150 hours last month?
Oh my gosh.
To do the videotaping, to do the dubs, rather the titles, then come to your place, Troy.
Yeah, I was thinking about that's a drive. That's like 2-hour drive.
Yeah, but it's fun to see you.
Yeah. Well, if there's ever an emergency or something and he can't do it, you're always welcome to come to the sanctuary.
Thank you.
And we'll have lunch.
Oh, the lunch was good.
Yeah, they always do that. They're always cooking for everybody.
So I came home and I finished the dubs here.
Yeah, how long did that take you?
Oh, 2 days.
Oh my god.
And then I had to finalize them.
Mm-hmm.
But I lucked out. These and these go to satellite. And you can't do a thing with them. Now, do you know what that is? Sometimes it's in the atmosphere, sometimes it isn't.
Wow.
But if you let these go while you're working and you're concentrating, this one that you left off, you come back, it's satellite. Then it won't do a darn thing. You can't even eject it.
Oh my gosh.
I have to turn off the system and let it wait 5 or 6 minutes.
I wonder if Andrew Hersman could help you sell all of these on eBay, sell all of them, and then buy a new, buy one of those sanctuary ones.
Buy 2 of them.
Yeah. Or you can buy some that make 20 at a time. It's just.
Oh, you know about
that? Yeah. You just add, the more DVD burners you add, the more money it is. But it can come in one. They can make it all in one tower, like one big tower. You know how the sanctuary had 9?
Yeah.
They probably make them once twice as big, twice as tall. That you can.
And maybe Andrew could find out where to buy that.
Yeah, I found a place online to buy it.
To buy what?
To buy the burners.
These?
The one that Sanctuary has.
To buy or sell? To sell them.
To buy them, where you could buy one of those.
Oh.
But to sell these, maybe he could, because I don't know anything about eBay. If he's good at eBay, I mean, you wouldn't get
eBay.
You wouldn't get the price that you paid for it. Because they're...
Well, I wouldn't mind that so much.
But maybe you could sell each one for, like... How much did you buy them all for? 200?
I'll tell you, 165.
Maybe you could
Each one
sell
was
them.
165, except that one was 185, the black one, because that is a satellite.
So, well, you could keep one of them or something, or a couple of them. But I would try to sell these for, I don't know, maybe... $75 each, $100 each. I know.
That's half.
$100 each.
Yeah, that's a little over half.
I think Andrew Hersman would know.
This is what Andrew. Remember we thought this was breaking down.
Oh yeah, he got that for you, right?
And all it was that the poor thing got hot and tired. And so he got this for $50.
Yeah, that's good.
And I've never opened it. I've never had to.
Well, hold on to it.
Oh, definitely. Yes, definitely.
But that way you could, get some of the money back from these to put towards something more efficient. And that way you won't have to pay Devin $100. Devin? Yeah, you don't have to pay him $100 a month, because that $100 a month, even though he's doing a lot of work, it adds up.
Yeah, but he would be heartbroken.
Yeah.
He needed a...
we could do something else for you.
He needed and his father, of course, is exhilarated.
That's very
Here's
sweet.
his son wasting all the time on the computer, and finally he's going to pay.
Really? Yeah.
Oh, okay. And that would replace Devin. But okay, so I've got that suggestion
it might
written down.
Yeah, it's just a suggestion to think about.
We'll ask
Andrew
Hersman. He really jumps into something like that.
Because I'm wondering, it would be best if someone around here would buy them. But I don't know if you're going to sell them all to one person. It may just be a couple here, a couple there.
I'm going into business as a retailer.
Well,
that's a good idea. I wrote that down.
That way then the money won't be wasted. Sounds like you got a lot of good use out of them anyway.
Well, this one, the only one that's ever broken down is this one. And he broke down and he won't open. He won't open. Or he won't shut, one or the other. Anyway, he won't make it up. And Andrew Hersman took him apart and got my master out, which was an archive.
Wow.
And after Andrew went, I saw these 2 parts he left out.
Whoops.
Just like a surgeon, a medical surgeon.
Oh, no.
Left out 2 parts.
Uh-oh.
So that was the process, and the cost on mailing them. It was so nice when I had the midgets, because I can mail those for 42 cents. But Ms. Lou Stuyvesant Post Office, he would mail the big ones for 92 cents. That's not so bad. The other post offices charge up to $1.80. That's why I wanted the midget so badly. And as you know, I have quite a supply of them.
Yeah.
Midgets.
Little ones.
These are all vegan boxes.
Oh.
You use the digits.
Oh yeah, they're cute.
They aren't any less expensive, but the postage is so much less expensive. Now, what do you want me to do with these? Give them back to you?
Yeah, what I'll do is...
You're going to take care of it, right? Or you want me to put them on the remote places? Yeah, maybe you better do this whole thing. Okay. Tell me when.
The camera keeps slipping off.
You what?
Camera keeps slipping off.
My goodness, that's serious.
Whenever you're ready, I'm ready.
I am ready. I'll give you a countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is the Glendora Franklin Living Trust for the preservation of the Pro Se Public Access Newspaper Museum. And this is the first volume. There are 2 other volumes. One was this trust construction around 2002.
And what are the contents?
That's the frontage page. This says that Franklin Fuller Buell was a newspaper reporter for the Springfield, Massachusetts Union for 10 years. And then it tells about Franklin's life. And then it tells about Glendora's life and their lives together. Maybe I can hold this up for you better.
Can you get it?
I have a nice stand. You can cut off the camera.
Oh, okay.
It's so heavy for me to hold. Tell me the angle you would like it.
Maybe back on the table. Will you be more comfortable sitting down?
Yeah,
over there and then turning the pages?
Mm-hmm. Or I'll display the pages for you on the rack.
Yeah. That way I can move back a little bit.
This is, all right, you've done the first part that is like a biography?
Yeah.
Did I change it? Angle? Did I change it? Okay, you ready? Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You are reading the Revocable Living Trust document of Franklin Fuller Buell and of his wife for 48 years, Glendora Vesta Folsom Buell. The designated name of the living trust is the Glendora Franklin Living Trust for the preservation of the pro se public access newspaper museum. The initial trustees are Franklin F. Buell and Glendora F. Buell. There have been quite a few successor trustees into whose hands the trust will drop when Glendora goes to heaven. Franklin went to heaven in 2003. Franklin and Glendora have put all of their property into the living trust. This is a joint trust. This is a joint tenancy trust. Now, the trust papers, the trust makers are Franklin and Glendora, and this, folks, is how it is set up. And all of these things were notarized. The signatures were all notarized at the Chase Bank. No, actually, this was Bank of New York. But now the living trust stays in the bank, in the Chase Bank, J.P. Morgan Bank, and they bought a whole other lot of banks. All makers of the trust, as makers of the trust, we control the trust, and the trust owns all property in its name, the Franklin Glendora Living Trust, etc. So that is about the trust, its origin, and about Glendora and Franklin and their biography. Now we go to Peach. Look how these peach match each other. Isn't that interesting? What is this section? The income tax ramifications of the living trust. Well, Franklin and I made such good IRS 1040 forms and all the auxiliary forms, and we did it so well, and we kept the mileage every day, what the mileage, beginning mileage was, where we went, and what the end mileage was. And so we knew all of the figures of how much the car had been used for business and how much it had been used for personal. And we submitted all the documents on things like that. And the IRS was always giving us money back because of the business. Finally, the IRS wrote us and said, don't file any more income tax.
Why did they say that?
They said unless things change, because they always had to return our money that we had given them. So they said don't file any more income tax. And here is their letter. That's pretty funny when you think of it. That's very funny.
So then you stopped.
Yeah, we haven't paid income tax since they said that, and I believe it was in 1995 that they said that. But here's their letter saying don't pay any more incomes, don't file any more tax returns unless things change. So there is no income tax to be paid.
Do they take the income tax out of Franklin's payments automatically?
No. Well, when he was working for the Buffalo Evening News, they took a lot out. In fact, I have that figure. They took out something like his total deductions, or our total deductions, or something like $104,000. I could look that figure up for you, I have it. But I believe that's what it was. That was one of our biggest expenses. The biggest expense was airtime, $500,000, and the next one was rent, which came out to something like $295,000, and then the total deductions, which was something like $100,000+. So here is their letter saying so, and we have it, and we have never paid any income tax since. Here's these supporting papers from the 1040 file, and that came from Hopesville, New York, which is where you send your income tax.
What's the bottom of that sheet say? Right here, the one that's up there now.
What's this bottom say?
Yeah, what's that note that you made at the end?
Oh, it says, oh, it asks what happens when we die. No, I really can't tell you what that refers to. I'm not too sure of that. So that's rather an interesting thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, folks. Trustee Franklin F. Buell passed peacefully October the 18th, 2003 at 8:05 p.m. This is still a revocable trust. Glendora trustee is still living.
Where did Franklin pass away?
In Chatham, New York.
Was he home?
Yes, he was. On along about September 15th, he didn't, as disabled as he was quite weak, and he had had several falls, and he had several ambulatory disabilities. And as bad as he was, he still didn't want me to go without him. We lived in Chatham, but we still shopped in Fishkill. Maybe this is a good segment. No, it isn't. Yeah, I guess it is. It's about 70 miles. Or was it? Well, anyway, he'd always gone with me. The two of us were really inseparable. We did everything together. And he didn't want me to go alone. He didn't want to be Piper, I guess. So he insisted on going, as disabled as he was. And around about September 15th, I came home. I had to run into the house for an emergency, and I wanted him to stay in the car and that I would come and help him. But I came back, and here he had the car open. The door was open, and his feet were out, and he got a cold. And always before, he was very, very good about victory over colds. So this one he never could shake. And very often with elderly people, they pass on to the cold. And it has amazed me all these years that the doctors have never found a cure for the common cold or a prevention for it. But it takes many elderly people, and he just never recovered from it. He fought and lost a lot of strength that way. And he got weaker and weaker, and I said, let's go to a doctor. No. Well, let's call the ambulance. No. And I don't blame them, because about a year and a half earlier, August of 2002, I thought it would be nice for him to have a general practitioner, a doctor, Because in the state of New York, if you die at home and you don't have a doctor, well, in the state of New York, the man's an autopsy. And that would have ruined his plan to give his body to the New York medical students in Guatemala in that time, Valhalla, New York, or a section in Westchester. Either way, you know, and an autopsy would ruin that, and then the medical students have to take hiatus because they don't have a cadaver. And the same plan is for me. So we had that all planned out, and he didn't want to disrupt it. So we tried to go to a doctor, and the doctor took things out of his hand and took him to the hospital. He didn't have to go to the hospital. They put in a temporary pacemaker, and the next day they put in a real one, and they put in a real one, and put in a real one. And this was in particularly at the Johnson Hospital. We just took it to the business. So no wonder he didn't want anything to do with doctors.
Were you with him when he passed
Oh,
on?
yeah. I was with him every minute, every day, every week, every month, every minute.
So in a way, this museum, the museum is a way to honor his life.
Indeed. And also his personality. Over at the museum, you will see how much the people of Buffalo loved him. He ended up, for the last 10 years, as City Hall reporter, which was much against his will because he wanted to be general assignment. He wanted to go out and meet people. But he was beloved all over the city of Buffalo. In fact, when he retired, they declared it Franklin D. We can see those things over at the museum. And they gave him a Buffalo Bison's jacket, windbreaker. You can see that too over at the museum. His Buffalo Bison's. That was a big one. And they brought him back a ball from Yankee Stadium. It was signed by Yogi Berra. It was signed by many famous baseball players on the Yankee team in those years. That was in 1983. That's over at the museum too. It's very valuable piece. Luke Mella. And that's how much they thought of him. He was very, well,